चलिए आज के दिन की शुरुआत करते हैं with the very first presentation, and for that I like to call over here who is a chairman of Indian Plastic Institute and also a Guinness World Record holder for T-shirt from recycled plastic. Come on, एक बार जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए for Dr. Sameer Joshi. एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ.
Since the formation of Earth millions of years ago, elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen were moving around in the atmosphere, and they combined one day to give what is called as a protein, and the protein is the base of a polymer. Monomers combine to form polymers, and Polyconnect has done that, connecting the polymers together. Great thank you to the promoters of Polyconnect, and let us make plastics great again. Thank you. I am going to today talk generally about a topic which is very relevant to the present times and which is making great again, because plastics today are hurt, abused, and whatnot. It's time to rethink the whole story. Science, ever accumulating waste in the environment, leakages, human and animal safety, persistence in the environment, and long-term ecological effects. That's what the world faces today. One of the biggest issues with us today is mismanaged plastic waste. Because of their short life cycle, poorly conceived legislation, non-availability of other alternate materials. Look at this. It takes 1 second to make a plastic bag that is used for 20 minutes on average before being thrown away. It then takes thousands of years for the bag to decompose if it's discarded in the environment. An iconic speech by an Indian Prime Minister. The lower and upper middle income countries, LMI and UMR, are in a state of transition. This statement was made in 1972, and are not poverty and the need for a better living the biggest polluters? Since 1972, we have come a long way, but even today, this is one of the biggest issues that faces our country. Packaging. How do we make polyolefins packaging circular and sustainable? It's a very desirable goal for plastic waste management. But conflating reuse economy with the circular economy is a wrong message. In fact, repeated recycling makes the resin unfit for a circular economy. We are talking now of a circular economy which is inspired by nature. When we talk of higher end recycling, it's monomer recycling, limited by chemistry, then feedstock recycling. But both the processes require sorted and composedly pure waste as feedstocks. Chemical recycling is the need of the hour and happening, but it has its own limitations and its cost. And critical logistics. Recycling makes sense if it is at the right price. The various forms of recycling, but advanced recycling accounts for less than 0.5% of the total plastics produced. And when we are looking for a future where we talk of recycling, this is going to be important. And when we talk of circularity, all this has to be taken into consideration. When the food and organics and compostable packaging is there, biological treatment is needed. Bio-based feedstocks, traditional single polymers being recycled. Only when a polymer can be infinitely recycled, then that would be a dream. Mixed plastics, again, least preferred incineration and landfill. Pyrolysis and depolymerization now seeing the traction of the day because of going back to monomer. But is this all sustainable? Look at this graph. Ideal versus reality. In the real world, this ideal condition has not been achieved. Circularity does not offer a value proposition to the consumer. Consumer को चाहिए, सस्ता चाहिए. No one is going to pay for sustainability, and sustainability will not come on an empty stomach. पहला धंधा, profit, फिर sustainability. That's the hard truth. Elegant है, but difficult है. Contamination at every step. Energy required for the conversion. Cheaper to make virgin plastics nowadays than the recycled ones, as we see. Complexity when we have different life cycle of material streams and cost of pollution. There is no economic incentive. And poorly designed circular economy concepts would be yet another example of good intentions leading to regrettable consequences. Transparent labeling and identifying plastics subclasses except PET, none of the other numbers accurately describe the plastics in terms of their structure and composition. Most abused one is number 7, 007, like a James Bond. Recycling triangle hai, but it doesn't make a difference. And plastics are too complex to be designed by just numbers. Forms and shapes, colors and inorganic additives and fillers, blends combined with metals. बहुत issues है, not easy to recycle unless done scientifically. Sorting and identifying the waste streams, that is very important. Access to information is critical for the migration to circular economy. Recycle content in products. हमने देखा है. At the same time, what we are seeing is greenwashing. Additives कैसे control करें? Do we need all and every additive to be added to the plastics? Re-examination is needed. While additives are the result added, what do we know about the products of chemicals and the transformation that takes place when subjected to heat or aging? Is there a case for fundamentally questioning the need and the quantity of additives that are added to plastics based on the science and product life cycle application? Chemical additives is thermoplastics and elastomer. 10,000 substances. Of these, 24% are monomers and 39% are processing aids. And polymers, as we see them, are not a single material. Apart from macromolecules, there is a panoply of small organic molecules. We do not know how many of them are substances of concern, and that is why banning plastics is the most simple answer. प्लास्टिक का इकोनॉमी हम बोलते हैं, लेकिन फ्रैगमेंटेड एंड ओपेक है. लॉन्ग वैल्यू चेन ऑफ पीपल in the hierarchy, legislations will play an important role. Define the rule again and the game change. No easy decisions on the world of sustainability and circularity. Legislation has grown this way. Look at this. Most easy, ban karo. But why not think of a different subject? Not to ban, but to plan. Why can't we think of this? And recently, 3 years ago, the United Nations Environment Program came up at the annual meeting, a global plastic treaty to phase out plastic pollution, and this is going to affect all of us in the plastic industry. It has not reached us today, but the consequences are far, far more important than what we foresee. To evolve a mechanism and to provide policy relevant scientific, socio-economic information and assessment related to plastic pollution. Full life cycling of polluting materials. There is no escape. This is the treaty I am talking of. And this treaty has been going on, or being negotiated for the last 3 years. And the last meeting was held in Geneva. No outcome yet. This is the session which I happened to be a part of. Last day, this went for 30 hours, like the Lok Sabha session, with breaks. Nothing could be achieved. One has to remember the global treaties like the Paris Agreement and all have been going on since last 20 years. This plastic treaty is, from its inception today, we have 1,260 days, 3 years. But yet we have come such a long way. Nothing is easy. You know, 193 nations of this earth have come to discuss the problems. So, what is the way ahead? Product design for circularity. 30% my weight, 50% for packaging items, redesign required. Under design, quantifiable, acceptable and understandable standards. Carbon budget, carbon embedded in the polymer. Make recycling and circularity worthy of investments by manufacturing industries and bankable by the financial institution. Nothing is going to be free. Paisa lagega. Indian challenges, growth and economic development, and consuming class is a threat to the issue of sustainability and plastic packaging. Unless the brands follow, we in the plastic industry are like football, we are just converters. We face the brunt. Sustainability and circularity cannot be merely a waste-handling challenge. It has to assume significance in our thinking. If it has to have roots as mean of gaining society's license to operate and stay in the business. Plastic consumption per capita in selected countries. Do we have to travel the same path, commit their legendary mistakes instead of learning from them and charting a different Indian way? Is there a model of sustainable development where a society's prosperity is not measured merely by per capita consumption of plastics? Versatile properties but have underpinned its explosive growth. Negative environment impacts, and we need to do something about it. The time active is now. And the wonderful wise men of Polyconnect connecting us, we have to find solution to this. Not merely educate, first is educating and then doing the actions. We are talking of a green economy, 5 hours. You know, we talked of Circular economy now is the bioeconomy. And the 5 R's, the last R is respect for the plastic waste. Let us first learn to respect the waste and then treat it. Chemistry for the future. Sustainable polymers, green manufacturing, all is there. Let us try to imbibe that in our thoughts and actions. And these are few of the thoughts shared by my gurus, and I am just merely coordinating and expanding on it. In the end, the power that plastic wields comes from all of us. All of us benefit from it, even as we suffer its ill effect. This is very important. In its failings, plastic shows our own collective failure as a society and as a plastic practicing individual. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility of our future. Dhanyavad, Jai Hind.